OSP Kisi Ejaben, yes. OSP Kisi Ejaben. Abusia mincha na misa somo akwa basonko so enfa ba channel so abusia. Had that's why a bear media J. Abusia besa was any day the channel so. And he kwan so abusia besa was ba jema hwe video simbi. You have modi abusia was subscribe like na wa so share ma for pencil be atie no. Anya bi atie. Abusia eyade OSP Kisi Ejaben, yes. Amane boni echiremu HSA His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Abusia enkofo a petition His Excellency so ombo modin na onyi OSP Kisi Ejaben onyi no enfam free sa office ho no, yes. Onyi no nabusia allegedly over 16 plus petitions nabusia atumi akoka His Excellency John Dramani Mahama sa se ombo modin na onyi Kisi Ejaben sa so na abusia mane boni echiremu so HSA EC boss Jean Mensah and the deputies abusuya over 7 petitions to me akwahete the office of the president enya sem kuto this year abusuya minimum kasai amane body echemu HSA allegedly His Excellency John Dramani Mahama to me the sa petitions we na abusuya the awuramu ewo Chief Justice Bafu Boni no office HSA o di hujuma HSA enya sem kuto enche abusuya ensem no ano eden ensem aba chese aba bonten this time chese efa ye OSP Kisi Ejaben ene ye maame Jean Mensah ene ne deputies abusuya ensem na no de ensem na no de yenko ne nkonkotie ensem a aba bonten this time na ha eda so ye bear media je abusuya yenko ne nkonkotie bomodi aso be subscribe be like na wa bo aso a share ma for person be atie no.
As special prosecutor, there are also 7 petitions for the removal of Jean Mensah as chairperson of the Electoral Commission, together with her 2 deputies. And these petitions have been forwarded to Chief Justice Paul Bafoboni. And thankfully, we have lawyer Martin Pebu on the line with us. We're grateful for your time, sir. I know you're very busy this morning, but thanks all the same for joining us. And really, I'm curious. Are you behind the petition for the removal of the SP? Mr. Pebu, kindly unmute and speak to us.
Hello?
Great, I can hear you now.
Yes, okay, so my name is...
Yes.
I'm not behind those petitions.
Okay.
But what I'm doing is that I'm preparing mine. I'll file my return by Wednesday. Yeah, so there's going to be another petition. Yeah, because I have some grounds. I believe my grounds will be different. If they happen to be the same, well, the cases may be consolidated. But we need to get Kisi Ejaben out of the office. He's done too many bad things.
So your petition is specifically for the special prosecutor?
Absolutely, yes. Kisi Ejaben is the one I want to have removed. Yeah.
All right, but is this normal that within 3 months of the removal of the Chief Justice, we have petitions seeking the removal of the Electoral Commissioner and her 2 deputies, and of course the SP as well? Is this really normal?
No, very, 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 very normal. Very normal. It just tells you that citizens have become very vigilant, right? And are engaged. So once citizens find that these duty bearers have breached the law, then citizens have the right to present the petitions. So it doesn't matter that you just had the removal of the Chief Justice. Indeed, even at the time that the Chief Justice removal proceedings were ongoing, we knew that there were petitions for the removal of Jean Mensah. Yeah. So it's always been there. Even Joy FM, you did some stories on those petitions where the petitioners complained that President Mahama hadn't forwarded the petitions, etc. So you did a story complaining that those petitions should have been forwarded. So it tells you that it's not as if the petitions were filed after the Chief Justice had been removed. No, some of them were filed whilst her process was ongoing. I would even be surprised if some were filed before her process started.
Well, we know of the Chief Justice, the processes, the procedures, which is aligned with Article 146. Is this the same for the removal of the Electoral Commissioner and her deputies as well as the SP?
Yes, largely the same. So I say largely because, so let's say this, for the Electoral Commissioner and her deputies, yes, they are far more similar to the Chief Justice, so we'll take time and break it down. I'm just giving the summary. But for Kisile Jabinson, the difference is that the law has expanded the grounds for the removal. That's one. And then number two, there are strict timelines. So maybe let's deal with Kisile Jabinson since that has a timelines. So under Section 15 of the Act 959, that's the Office of Special Prosecutor Act, when the petition is received, the president must forward it to the Chief Justice within 7 days. Yes, 7 days. So conveyor belt, the president has no discretion, just forward it to the Chief Justice within 7 days. And then when the Chief Justice receives it, the Chief Justice has 30 days to make a prima facie determination. You remember the one Ekufuado did when Ekufuado sought to remove Chief Justice Kofolu, and then Ekufuado came out with a long written ruling which dismissed the petition. So now Chief Justice Bafuboni will be working on the same within 30 days. So if at the end of it, if Chief Justice Bafuboni's determination is that yes, there's a prima facie, in simple words, yes, there's a case for Kisile Jabin to answer, then within 14 days, they have to set up the committee like the Justice Puaman committees, the 5-member committees. At this time, when it is set up, it will have more judges on it. That's one other difference. It will have more judges on it. And then they have 90 days, 3 months, 90 days to finish. So you see that this one is different because it has timelines all throughout the value chain. Yes, so that's it for Kisile Jabin. Right. So once the committee is set up, within 3 months, they must finish.
Okay.
Now when it goes... Okay, let's go to the EC. The EC and her deputies. The EC commissioner has the same terms and conditions as a court of appeal judge. So her removal is governed by Act 146. The same for her deputies, who have the same terms and conditions as a high court judge. So the EC commissioner is senior to her deputy.
We seem to have lost Martin. People was trying to explain the procedure for the removal of the electoral chair and also her deputies.
There are no timelines.
Right. Okay.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now, but very briefly, Martins, for sake of time, what will be a very strong evidence that can survive the petition or the procedure that it will be taken through? I mean, for the electoral commissioner, her deputies, as well as the SB.
Yes, so there's one common ground. It's incompetence. So if you can show that the office bearer did not perform his work well, like in the case of the SP, he said he saw Ofuriata absconding and he didn't know how to even summon Ghanaians to stop Ofuriata. That speaks to incompetence. That speaks to causing the office to be ridiculed, the office to be held in contempt, to be held in disrepute. Because as a policeman, you see your suspect running. You couldn't shout to the general public to come and help you arrest Ofuriata. And besides, the special prosecutor lied that he went to NIB for help and NIB didn't help. I wrote to the NIB. I have a letter where the NIB said he never came there. And I spoke with the previous head of NIB. He said Kisile Jabin never came there. So if you put such evidence on paper and the people come and testify, it's sufficient to remove him for stated misbehavior and incompetence. When it comes to the EC and her deputies, for them, the grounds are narrower. One, incompetence, okay? Yes, so it says that there must be incompetence. Then number two, stated misbehavior. Then number three, ill health, infirmity of mind and body. So the EC one, they have to show the incompetent work that was done or any other stated misbehavior. I understand there are issues of procurement breaches, etc. I don't know if those made them into the petition. Well, under the law, we are not to discuss the contents of the petition, so I'll hold my fire.
All right. Thank you very much, Martin. We'll definitely follow up and get much details on these petitions. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
Now, the Ghana Union of Traders Association has a new president. Clement Boateng has taken over from Joseph Obeng. He's here for a conversation with me. You're grateful for joining us in the studio. Welcome. How does it feel in your new position?
Yeah, good morning and thank you for having me. Well, it's a position that I cherish. I think I will taking over from my predecessor, Dr. of being who performed creditably, and I must make sure that where he left GUTA.
All right, abusuafo or family no na when you go so I no you sure say unsubscribe ya be subscribe no like no share media man to me account from so answer, and do not forget to click on the notification bell in the bear any update be drop bia no won so answer able to me akabe abusuafo or family no or can send pi yen kuni nkote ensem dodo a ode tuja.
I'll be able to continue and then make sure that the welfare of the Ghanaian trader is taken into consideration.
The seat you occupy is quite a hot one because you're almost always caught up in issues with, local businesses pushing their grievances forward and ensuring that they have a fair and equitable, playing field, especially in the era where we have foreign retailers taking up this space. How are you intending to, treat or, adjust to this kind of atmosphere in your new role?
Yes, like you rightly said, the seat is a very, very hot seat. I can tell you, GUTA receives an average of 3 letters a day, either coming from public organization or private organization or an engagement. And so the seat is very, very hot seat. Yes. Regarding foreigners in the retail trade, this has been an issue that GUTA has fought for so many years. And I can say with authority that without GUTA's involvement, the whole retail sector would have been taken over completely by foreigners. Even for all the fights that we have fought, they are still occupying a sizable place as far as retail business are concerned, and we are not relenting on our efforts. As I've taken over the seat, I am going to continue the fight. Even before I took over as the first vice president, we had some engagement with the new chief executive of Ghana Investment Promotion Authority, and at our last congress that the election were held just last week, he was even there. After the congress, I had an engagement with him, and then turned to proceed from where we left. If I say where we left, over 1.5 years ago, there was a task force that was formed with the inclusion of a lot of state organizations, and if they had continued the work from where they left off, I think the work would have been done to some large extent. But because we were close into the election, the work was stopped, and after the election, the new government also had to put things in place regarding ministers and chief executives. So when this chief executive took over, we had engagement with him, and he has drawn up a program which we are all following to address this situation. And I am of a firm conviction that the process that we have started, if we are able to continue, this matter will be put to rest.
Well, on the back of that, what will be your very first hard decision, and who will it upset in your position?
Well, what I intend, to do as my first engagement had to do with having an audience with the finance minister. If you could recall, in the presentation of the budget, I know he made mention about some reforms as far as the VAT regime is concerned, and that is one issue that GUTA, has raised a lot of concerns about it, because we think the VAT regime that pertained over the years, it's not the best. And so we were calling for the VAT regime, to be reformed. So there was a proposal that, we took to the minister prior to the budget. Then we raised the issue of having one regime,
right,
as far as VAT is concerned, and we proposed a rate of between 6 to 7%, because in some jurisdiction that is what pertains there. But looking at the budget that the minister read, they have rather increased the VAT to 20%, because he said the previous regime was about 21%. If you add the GET fund of 2.5, the national health insurance of 2.5, and so the COVID levy of 1%, which makes about 6%, to the original regime of 15%, it gives you up to about 21%. But from 21 to 20%, we think there's cascading effect, which we had complained is still going to be there.
And this is in addition to those bringing in items, port charges and all of that.
Yes. And then he said they were also going to introduce a new tax system that we called new modified tax system, which they are going to bring a threshold of between 200 and 750,000. So if your threshold or your annual turnover is between 200 and 750,000, then you will not be charging the 20% rate, but you will be in the new modified system. We have made a calculation, and we think if that is going to be the case, then all GUTA members are going to be charging the standard rate of 20%, which we think is not fair and is still going to be the cascading effect. So my immediate priority is to engage, the minister, and then see how best we call.
Have you made moves already?
Yes, I have had some chat with him, and he has promised to meet us somewhere within this week. So if we are able to meet him, we will articulate, our grievances and see how best it could be addressed. Another issue also had to do with the introduction of AI at the port, because the government thinks there are a lot of leakages at the port, and government is not getting its right revenue. We are not opposing the introduction of the AI because we know it is going to facilitate trade and then also facilitate clearance of goods. But what we are saying is before the introduction of the AI, government promised to rationalize the duties at the port.
Right.
And so therefore, if there is going to be an introduction of the AI, then government must first, complete the implementation of the rationalization of the duties before the introduction of the AI. Because we think currently ICOMS is at the port. ICOMS is providing, the platform, for GRA to come out with its needed duties. So ICOMS is not doing bad, but if you want to enhance, a government's revenue, we think the rationalization of the duties, must come into effect before the AI is implemented at the ports.
All right. And just before I let you go, my last question to you. From a year from now,